morning, everyone. Welcome to my studio. This is Kelly's Creative Stamping. And today I told you earlier in the week that I would show you how I catalog my designer series paper. And so that's what I'm going to do this morning. I've saved my Bubbles and Fizz from the collection of the Spring Reveal and show you how I do that. Now I keep everything. All of my designer series papers are cataloged in this 3-inch binder. And I use the baseball card sleeve page protectors. And I line each pocket with a white cardstock. This is 2.5 by 3.5. And this allows me to put one collection of cardstock on one side of the page and another collection on the back. And I think I've got a double here. Let's see if I can. We had some good ones earlier in our fall collection, but here's my Halloween. And I've got the Painted Autumn on one side. Slide this over. I've got the Painted Autumn on one side. But then when I turn the page, I've got the Merry Music on the other side. And I've got them labeled using my Brother label maker as to the name of the paper and the catalog that it was in. That way when I do a project with past cardstocks on my other creative blog, I can still reference where the paper came from. And so that's what I'm going to show you how to do today with the Bubbles and Fizz. Now there are a couple of things to keep in mind. Number one, it's really easy to look at the designer series paper and have an idea. Start pulling your cardstocks out and see what matches. But it's really easy if you can just pull open your binder, look at your cardstocks, and see what the coordinating. The other alternative is looking at our catalog. And you'll see here with the Petal Garden Designer Series paper, they also sell a 3-pack of our primary colors that will match the Petal Garden. The primary pack includes Calypso Coral, Thick Whisper White, and Rich Razzleberry. But Old Olive, Pool Party, and Sweet Sugar Plum will also coordinate with the Petal Garden. So what I do is I go through and I cut the designer series paper down to fit the pockets in the designer catalog. And I didn't show this one here. I also take and cut strips of the cardstock 1 inch by 3.25, and I label them. So when I look at the designer series paper sheet, I know exactly which colors also coordinate with that. And I'm going to show you how to do that today with Bubbles and Fizz. Now, as I said, you're going to cut from Whisper White 2.5 by 3.5 to line your pocket pages. And then you're going to cut your designer series paper 2.25 by 3.25. The thing to keep in mind is when you're cutting is if there's a specific direction to your pattern, you're going to want to make sure, such as with the bottles, that that's where you go with. So let's start with the bottles. Move my binder out of the way here so we've got a little bit more room. Because I want to make sure that the bottles are going up and down, I'm going to cut at the 2.25 mark first, because the 2.25 is your width. And then I'll turn around and cut it at the 3.25. Now, so that I can see at a glance what the reverse size of that is, I will move this down and at 1 5/8 cut that piece in half, and that allows me to just flip my paper over, and now I've got the front and the back. Okay, so let's do those with each one of the colors. Again, the hearts, we want to make sure the hearts are going in the right direction, so we'll cut those at 2.25. And at 3.25, and then move this down to 1 5/8 and flip that over. Now with this one, the lines are going up and down. You could have them go this way. So then I would flip it over and see what's on the back. Again, my bottle caps are going this way, so positioning them correctly. We'll go to the 2 1/4. And try not to knock everything else off the table in the process, because it's trying. And 3 1/4. And then the 1 5/8. And we're going to do this with all of our papers. Doing this, I know at a glance what I have to work with when I sit down to work on a project. And if I look at a sample in the catalog and I'm like, what color cardstock did they use? Then I can just flip to this section of my designer series paper in my DSP and know instantly what color cardstock I need to use. But see, this one really doesn't have a direction to worry about, so it doesn't matter where I go. But I usually try to get in the habit of cutting the 2 1/4 first, and then that way I'm going the right direction. Now you can use your tape runner. Let's see what I'm missing here. I've got a couple of these I haven't done. You can use your tape runner, or you can use a little bit of the glue. I usually just use whatever glue I have handy when I put these together. See, this one, it really didn't matter because the bottles go in all different directions, but I think I cut that one off. But it doesn't matter if I missed my mark, because as long as it fits in the pocket, I'm good. Okay, let me grab my adhesive real fast. The mono adhesive is perfect for this, our multi-purpose glue. And I'm just going to take and run. I usually run the bead of the glue on the top edge of the bottom piece, and then flip that over and stick it into place. Now, it really doesn't matter which one you place on the top or the bottom. It's a personal preference. You want the darker shade or a pattern or whatever on the bottom. There really isn't any rhyme or reason. Now, I won't show you how I do this on camera, but what I will do is then I will go back and I will look at whatever the color cardstocks are that coordinate with this. And I cut the cardstock 1 inch by 3 1/4. And I just layer them together to where they fit within the pocket sections. Now with these, and I'm sorry, but I have to do this one off camera because I can't show you the inside of the catalog just yet, but you're going to get there, I promise. Bubbles and Fizz is actually the free paper pack out of the Celebration catalog, and it coordinates with Basic Gray, Bermuda Bay, Calypso Coral, Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lime Twist, and Whisper White. And I'm going to pull the Designer Series paper book back up here. I guess from this holiday catalog, I didn't get, last year's spring catalog, I didn't get everything pulled. Let's go to the holiday catalog. And let's look at Spooky Night. Spooky Night coordinated with Basic Black, Pumpkin Pie, Cajun Craze, and Very Vanilla. And all I did was cut them to 1 inch by 3 1/4 and then layered them. Close enough to just give me enough room to write the name. and to make them to where they would fit down in the pocket. So that's how I catalog all of my designer series paper, so that I know at a glance what I have when I'm working on a project, and I don't have to take time to think about what colors are going to go with the cardstock, with the paper that I'm working with, because it's right there in front of me. I'll have another tip after the first of the year. I will be doing the planner for January, probably middle of next week, and then I'll be taking the last few days of the month of the year off to prep and get ready for 2018. So no more videos after the planning video, but you will want to keep track on the blog to see what I'm doing with the new items that I got from the spring catalog. So check it out at kellyscreativestamping.blogspot.com. If you like this tip and would like to see more tips on how I organize my stamping space, please hit the like button and leave a comment below as to what your challenge is. What do you have a problem with trying to figure out the best way to store? And I'll see if I can help you out. And I'd love to have you visit my studio all the time, so click the subscribe button below and come back and see me. In the meantime, creative blessings.